Is if someone had told you 6 years ago that you'd be the number one goalkeeper at Chelsea, what do you think you would have said to them then?
I think if someone had said that to me 6 years ago when I didn't have a club, I wouldn't have even bothered looking or listening to them.
Can you just give us an idea how bad it got for you 6 years ago when you were without a club? How close were you to quitting the game, and what would you have done had you left football?
Yes, it was really very difficult because on the one hand you have the anger of finding yourself without a club because of the agent who I was with, but then there's also that disappointment of not being able to play at the weekends, not being able to do what I love, not being able to compete, and that's really hard for a footballer. And a year, of course, is a very long time for a footballer too. But fortunately, I could always count on my family. And there were times when it was really difficult, but my family could help me through that and to bounce back and to continue to get where I am today.
Edouard, your rise just now is bad news for one of your teammates in Kepa. Can you describe what your relationship is like with him, and do you sympathise with Kepa just now, given the position he finds himself in?
I have a very good relationship with Kepa. I think the group of goalkeepers we have, we're all very open, and all of us understand that the team is the most important thing here, and doing what's right for the group. So our relationships are all really good. We work well together, and we're pushing each other every day to improve ourselves and to improve each other. And we know as goalkeepers that we have to stay unified and united, and that's how things are going at the moment. So as you said, there's lots of African players in the Premier League, and the Premier League is the best league in the world, so that's a really positive thing. But also, like you say, there are only few African goalkeepers. Whether I feel a particular pressure about that, not really. It's a source of pride for me to be an African goalkeeper in the Premier League, and it's up to me to show that as an African goalkeeper I can really perform at this level and perhaps change people's mentalities of these things.
I was just wondering how much influence Petr Cech had on you joining Chelsea. Can he be a big mentor for you at the club now? And are you excited to see he's registered as a player for the Premier League? Obviously, we know that that's he'd only play in exceptional circumstances. But how exciting is that as well? Thanks.
I've been aware that Petr Cech has been watching my matches for a number of years, and of course it's always really pleasing to hear that Petr Cech has been watching me and saying that he liked my profile and the way I was performing. So after my season at Rennes, the offer came in from Chelsea, and it's just a source of great pride for me to join this club. And thanks to Petr and also Christoph, who were following me. But here at Chelsea, everybody obviously approved my signing. But it's true that with Petr Cech, it's someone who's been following me for many years and played a particularly important role in the transfer. So now it's up to me to show that they were right to have taken their interest in me and to have brought me to the club.
Next up, Jim Conlon.
Hello, Edouard. In terms of Chelsea's past goalkeepers, they've had two greats in the past decades in the likes of Petr Cech and Carlo Cudicini. And how important is it for you to establish yourself as the number one and obviously cement your own sort of legacy in Chelsea going forward?
To be at a club where such great goalkeepers have played is fantastic, of course, and very important to me. And I'm aware of the expectations that surround the goalkeeping position at Chelsea. But I'm not going to put any pressure on myself and compare myself to them because they're both legends here. They played at an incredibly high level for many, many years. I've only just arrived here, so my aim right now is to carry on progressing. And when the coach asks it of me to make sure that I'm there for the team and helping to their success. So that's my objective right now, not in any way to think about what Petr Cech or Carlo Cudicini achieved here because they're legends and different things to me.
Hi, Edouard. Can I just follow up from an earlier question? Why do you feel there are so few black goalkeepers across Europe's big leagues and even further down the pyramid in England? And in addition to that, do you see yourself as being an inspiration to the next generation in that case?
Yes, I can't tell you why there are so few African goalkeepers in England. When you look at other leagues, there are more playing around Europe. In France, there are 4 or 5 at least. And perhaps it's something that can be explained in different ways. It's whether the profile of the player isn't right, or whether the coach has other ideas of the sort of players that he's looking for. But right now, it's true that I'm the only African goalkeeper in the Premier League, and so it's a responsibility that I feel to, because I believe that there's expectations surrounding that. And I just need to make sure that I carry on working hard, doing my best in training and in matches, so that other goalkeepers can follow me into this league and have that opportunity.
Final question for this section, Stephen Douglas.
Hi, Edouard. I just want to go back to your time without a club in 2014. Can you go into a bit more detail about what you actually did during that year? Were you just sort of training in the hope of getting a club, or did you have to take another job? And just an extra question: how important was that year to sort of strengthen your spirit and sort of for your future football career?
So back then, when I got the message from my agent at the time, I started immediately to go back to the club where I trained when I was young, the Harbour Athletic Club, and I was training with the reserves there every morning. In the afternoons, I'd go to the gym, or I'd go with my brother to the pitch to practice shot stopping. I had the unemployment support at that time, so I could dedicate myself totally to football, but it was incredibly difficult. And also my partner was expecting our first baby, and so the unemployment support wasn't going to be enough for us. We needed something else, and so I did start looking for other work. But then I had the opportunity to go to Marseille, and I was given a trial there. And when I went down there, it was a case of just giving my absolute everything to get the opportunity to join that club. Unfortunately for me, it worked. And when it did, it was like a complete release for me, because 1 year to go without football is an incredibly long time. And I had many, many doubts during that time. But as I said, it was really thanks to my family, who helped so much during those moments to keep me strong. But I did genuinely have my doubts about whether I would carry on. But I look at it now and say that it's thanks to those moments that I am where I am today, and my family is also able to benefit from where I've got to with football.
Okay, thank you. We'll end that section.